Hello students, welcome to SRM biology classes. Today I will explain with reference to the main important features of chemi-osmotic hypothesis. The concept of chemi-osmotic hypothesis was discovered by Sir Peter Michael. The chemi-osmotic hypothesis is widely employed in order to explain the biosynthesis of ATP, whether it is during the course of photosynthesis or during the course of respiration. One of the widely used methodology to explain the biosynthesis of ATP is called chemi-osmotic hypothesis. This concept was discovered by Sir Peter Michael. In invalid terminology, the chemi-osmotic hypothesis is defined as the movement of protons across a semi-permeable membrane with the establishment of electrochemical gradient. Such a unique type of hypothesis is called chemi-osmotic hypothesis. The movement of protons across a selectively permeable membrane. In this case, the thylakoid membrane will act as a semi-permeable membrane in order to favor proton gradient in the lumen part of the thylakoid membrane. In order to establish the proton gradient, it requires electrochemical gradient. With the establishment of electrochemical gradient, ADP combines with the inorganic phosphate in the presence of ATP synthetase enzyme. Let the biosynthesis of ATP. The synthesized ATP during the course of light reaction is slowly diffused to the stroma region in order to initiate second step in the mechanism of photosynthesis called dark reaction. Through C3 or C4 pathway, it take part in the biosynthesis of food. Such a unique phenomenon was discovered by Sir Peter Michael. For this wonderful work, he was awarded with prestigious Nobel Prize. In invalid terminology, the chemi-osmotic hypothesis is defined as the movement of protons across a selectively permeable membrane with the establishment of electrochemical gradient is called chemi-osmotic hypothesis. First, I will write the diagram. In that diagram, I will incorporate the photosystems. By observing the photosystem, you can imagine what are the main important steps involved in the chemi-osmotic hypothesis. This is thylakoid membrane. It is a type of double membranous selectively permeable membrane. Through non-cyclic photophosphorylation or through cyclic photophosphorylation photosystem 2 on the chlorophyll A molecule led to the excitation of electrons through the electron acceptor, led to the biosynthesis of two electron transport system, led to the biosynthesis of ATP, resulting in the entry of electrons, excited electrons into the photosystem 1. The incidence of sunlight at a nanometer of about 700 nanometer, resulting in the formation of electron acceptor. During this process, from the ferredoxin led to the biosynthesis of NADPH2, NADPH2 from NADP. First, I will write the photosystem 2, particularly at cytochrome B6 and at cytochrome F of the non-cyclic photophosphorylation. They act as a proton channel for the entry of proton from stroma region to the lumen part, from the stroma region to lumen part of the thylakoid membrane, resulting in the increase in the proton gradient, This is called thylakoid membrane. Toward this side, I will write photosystem 1. Now, I will write from NADP led to the formation of NADPH2 through the enzyme NADP synthetase. Now I will remove the background hint. With the establishment of proton gradient in the lumen part of the thylakoid membrane, you already well familiarized with the nature of the thylakoid membrane. It is a type of semi-permeable membrane, but it is impermeable to protons. In order to remove the proton from the lumen part to the stroma region, it makes use of coupling factor. In the thylakoid membrane, you can find the presence of coupling factor 0. It is hydrophobic in nature. Toward the stroma region, you can find the presence of coupling factor 1. The coupling factor is also designated as ATP synthetase enzyme. The Olo enzyme is defined as the combination of apoenzyme with the cofactor led to the formation of a fully functional enzyme called Olo enzyme. This coupling factor 0, it started to remove 3 protons present in the lumen part to the stroma region. In the presence of ATP synthetase enzyme, the siphoned out 3 protons take part in the aggregation of ADP with the inorganic phosphate, resulting in the biosynthesis of ATP in the presence of a key enzyme called ATP synthetase enzyme. ATP synthetase enzyme. The schematic representation is illustrated as 3 protons present in the lumen part of the thylakoid membrane combines with the ADP and inorganic phosphate in the presence of ATP synthetase enzyme, resulting in the presence of 3 protons in the stroma region. 3 protons present in the stroma region. 3 protons present in the stroma region led to the biosynthesis of ATP. Such a unique diagrammatic illustration is seen in the chemi-osmotic hypothesis. This is with reference to the diagrammatic illustration of the chemi-osmotic hypothesis. The concept of chemi-osmotic hypothesis was discovered by Sir Peter Michael. In order to explain the biosynthesis of ATP, whether it is during the course of photosynthesis or respiration, one of the widely employed methodology is called chemi-osmotic hypothesis. In a valid terminology, the chemi-osmotic hypothesis is defined as the movement of protons across a semi-permeable membrane. The thylakoid membrane is a selectively permeable membrane with the establishment of electrochemical gradient. Led to the biosynthesis of ATP. Such a unique process is called chemi-osmotic hypothesis. For this beautiful and wonderful work, he was awarded with prestigious Nobel Prize. With reference to the main important concept involved in the chemi-osmotic hypothesis, through the photolysis of water, through the establishment of electrochemical gradients, the protons present in the stroma region, through 2 proton carriers, namely cytochrome B6 and cytochrome F, it is slowly entered into the lumen part of the thylakoid membrane. When protons started to accumulate in the lumen part of the thylakoid membrane, as I earlier said, thylakoid membrane, it is a type of selectively permeable membrane, but it is impermeable to protons. In order to remove the proton from the lumen part to the stroma region, it make use of coupling factor, or it make use of ATP synthetase enzyme. ATP synthetase, it is a type of Wolff enzyme. It is characterized by the presence of 2 important components, namely coupling factor 0 and coupling factor 1. The coupling factor 0, it is hydrophobic in nature. And it is confined to the thylakoid membrane. Toward the stroma region, you can find the presence of coupling factor 1. It is highly hydrophilic in nature. Because of the hydrophilic nature, it started to siphon out. It started to remove 3 protons present in the lumen part of the thylakoid membrane is removed to the stroma region. With the help of ATP synthetase enzyme, ADP combines with the inorganic phosphate. led to the biosynthesis of ATP with the establishment of electrochemical gradient, simultaneously through the photosystem 1 of the non-cyclic photophosphorylation. Through the photosystem 1 of the non-cyclic photophosphorylation, ADP combines with the NADP combines with the hydrogen produced through the photolysis of water, resulting in the formation of NADPH2. The synthesized NADPH2 is also slowly released to the stroma region in order to initiate dark reaction. The synthesized ATP and NADPH2 is released to the stroma region in order to initiate second step in the mechanism of photosynthesis. This is with reference to the main important salient features of the chemiosmotic hypothesis. The key points to remember is you have to keep the picture of the non-cyclic photophosphorylation in order to label few of the components, namely photosystem 2, cytochrome B6 and cytochrome F, and toward the right hand side you have to write the photosystem 1. Through the photosystem 1 led to the biosynthesis of NADPH2, that you have to write. With the establishment of electrochemical gradient, in this case the protons present in the stroma region is entered into the lumen part of the thylakoid membrane through proton carriers. The two important electroproton carriers are namely cytochrome B6 and cytochrome F. Another important key points to remember is the thylakoid membrane is a semi-permeable membrane, but it is impermeable to protons. In order to remove protons present in the lumen part of the stroma region, it make use of a coupling factor or ATP synthetase enzyme. The ATP synthetase enzyme, it contains two important components, namely coupling factor 0 and coupling factor 1. The coupling factor 1 is purely hydrophobic in nature, embedded in the thylakoid membrane, but the coupling factor 1 is confined to the stroma region and it is hydrophilic in nature. Through hydrophobic and hydrophilic region, the protons present in the lumen part is entered into the stroma region via ATP synthetase enzyme, resulting in the aggregation of ADP with the inorganic phosphate in the presence of sunlight, led to the biosynthesis of ATP. Simultaneously, through the photosystem 1, NADP will get reduced to NADPH2, that is also released to the stroma region. Note the synthesized ATP and NADPH2. The synthesized ATP and NADPH2 are slowly diffused to the stroma region in order to initiate second step in the mechanism of photosynthesis called dark reaction. This is with reference to the main important salient features of Salpeter-Michaels chemiosmotic hypothesis. The next important concept is where the ATP and NADPH2 are used. Whether it is through the cyclic, non-cyclic, or through chemiosmotic hypothesis, the synthesized ATP and NADPH2 are slowly, the synthesized ATP and NADPH2 are slowly released to the stroma region of the chloroplast. If you observe the stroma region, in the stroma region, the atmospheric carbon dioxide is reduced to sugar. With the utilization of ATP and NADPH2. By making use of NADPH2 and ATP, the atmospheric carbon dioxide is reduced to a carbohydrate derivative led to the biosynthesis of sugar. For the first time, Melvin Calvin, by making use of C14 as a radioisotope, for the first time, in case of marine algae, he detected the conversion of atmospheric carbon dioxide into a 3-carbon containing phosphoglyceric acid, With the biosynthesis of 3-phosphoglyceric acid led to the initiation of Melvin-Calvin cycle or C3 cycle in case of marine algae and also in case of green plants. Simultaneously, the synthesized ATP and NADPH2, especially in case of majority of the monocots, in case of sorghum, wheat, in case of maize, in majority of the Amaranthaceae members, and also in case of euphorbia-like succulents, the atmospheric carbon dioxide with the utilization of ATP and NADPH2, it will gets converted into 4-carbon containing oxaloacetic acid is synthesized. Thereby, it led to the initiation of C4 cycle in case of sorghum, ಬಿಳಿ ಜೋಳ, in case of maize, muskina jola, in case of oats, in case of paddy, and also in case of majority of the amaranthus members, ಅಂದರೆ ಸೊಪ್ಪಿನ ಜಾತಿಯ ಸಸ್ಯ ಪ್ರಭೇದಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ತರದ milkweed plants, namely in the amaranthus, in case of cactus, in case of opensia, you can find the presence of the exhibition of C4 cycle. The synthesized ATP and NADPH2 is slowly diffused to the stroma region in order to take part in the biosynthesis of food materials. In majority of the marine algae and also in case of majority of the green plants, for the first time, Melvin Calvin, he discovered the conversion of atmospheric carbon dioxide into a 3-carbon containing phosphoglyceric acid with the utilization of ATP and NADPH2 synthesized during the course of light reaction, thereby led to the initiation of C3 cycle or Melvin-Calvin cycle that will be discussed in the next class through dark reaction. Later, in majority of the Amaranthaceae members, in case of succulents and in case of monocots, the synthesized ATP and NADPH2 during the course of light reaction, resulting in the conversion of atmospheric carbon dioxide into a 4-carbon containing oxaloacetic acid is actively synthesized. thereby led to the initiation of C4 cycle in case of green plant. The synthesized ATP and NADPH2 are slowly diffused the stroma region in order to take part in the biosynthesis of food materials. Accurately, it take part in the synthesis of sugars. The aggregation of sugars led to the biosynthesis of a carbohydrate derivative called starch is actively synthesized during the course of dark reaction. In the next class, I will explain the main important features involved in the dark reaction. Before that, I will discuss few of the multiple choice questions. In the last class, I discussed up to question number 15. The next 16th question states that during monsoon, the rice crop of eastern states of India shows lesser yield due to the limiting factor of light. Light is very, very essential in order to take part in the biosynthesis of NADPH2. Thereby, the yield of the rice in the eastern countries, particularly in the monsoon season, is subjected to sudden decrease. In that case, light will act as a limiting factor. Dark reaction of photosynthesis occurs in the stroma region outside the photosynthetic lamella. Translocation of carbohydrate nutrients usually occurs in the form of sugars, in the form of sucrose sugar. Question number 19. Photorespiration is favored by high oxygen concentration followed by the low carbon dioxide led to the formation of glycolate pathway or C2 pathway called photorespiration. It is a useless biochemical reaction that will be discussed in the next class. Photorespiration is favored by high level of oxygen followed by the low carbon dioxide content. Photosynthetically active radiation is represented by the large range of wavelength of about 400 to 700 nanometer. It normally at 680 and 700 nanometers in order to initiate photosystem 2 and photosystem 1. Which enzyme is most abundantly found on the surface? The enzyme Rubisco is the most abundant enzyme on the surface. The process of photophosphorylation takes place in the chloroplast. Photosystem 1 occurs in the stroma region of the thylakoid and non-appressed part of grana of the thylakoids. Photophosphorylation means the synthesis of photophosphorylation is the means of synthesis of ATP from ADP. Next question. Which occurs during the light reaction of photosynthesis? The main important steps involved in the light reaction are namely photoexcitation of chlorophyll pigment. Second step is photolysis of water. formation or the reduction of hydrogen acceptor, and the last one is photophosphorylation, which occurs during the light reaction of photosynthesis. Water splits, that is photolysis of water, led to the formation of hydrogen and nascent oxygen. The second option B is the right answer. The photosynthesis, hydrogen is transferred from light reaction to dark reaction by NADP. In photosynthesis, hydrogen is transferred from light reaction to dark reaction by NADP, through NADP. Which of the following element is a component of ferredoxin? As the name indicates, ferredoxin is enriched with iron. This is some of the important MCQ questions subjected to discussion. Please try to answer the remaining questions in the college study material. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe.